Hello, students. Welcome to your English class. Today is a writing skill class. And last two classes, we've been doing paragraph writing and descriptive writing. Today, we are going to do narrative paragraph writing. Now, narrative, just like the name suggests, it means when you're explaining about something that happens, you're narrating an account of something. I am Mrs. Jenny Shah, and today we are going to learn about narrative paragraphs. What is a narrative paragraph? A narrative paragraph tells a short story or it describes an event. It is a story about a personal memory, mostly. Narrative paragraphs tells a story or an event. It could be a tale, novel, an account of one's life, a natural phenomena, or even a social event. So the story or the event in the paragraph should be arranged in a chronological order in which they took place. What is the purpose of a narrative paragraph? Now, the purpose of the narrative paragraph is to tell a story so well that the reader feels that they were there at that time of that event. Like every paragraph, even narrative paragraph has three parts: the topic sentence that introduces the experience, the body sentence that will share the details and recreate that experience for the reader, and the concluding sentence which will reflect on that experience. So, a narrative paragraph tells a story. The topic sentence tells the reader what the story will be about. It can also tell when and where the story took place, and the topic sentence should capture the reader's interest. Second is the supporting sentences. These will tell the details of the story, including the sequence of events. You can include sensory details if you want, and you can also write about your feelings or the writer's feelings during these events taking place. The concluding sentence will wrap up the story and it will show why the experience was important or how the writer felt about that experience. So I'm going to give you a few tips for the narrative writing. Tip number one is writing hooks. That means your topic sentence must be a hook sentence. And how will you hook the reader? Your topic sentence can be a question, it can be a fact, it can be an exclamation, it can be a sound effect, it could be an intense moment, it could be a dialogue, it could be an inner dialogue you're thinking to yourself. It could be a repeat of phrase or idea. It could be a flashback or a flash forward. It could be a strong feeling. It could be a figurative language. So, for example, I'll never forget the time I picked out my new puppy. So, where this topic sentence tells us that it is about the new puppy and it is a time that she will not forget or he will not forget. So, your topic sentence must be very interesting and must hook your reader. Second is always follow a chronological order. When you're presenting the story in a chronological order, you will always use transition words. Transition words would be like, for example, if it's in the beginning, you can say it's initially, at first, firstly, first of all, to start, to begin. These are the words to indicate the beginning of the event or what took place at the beginning, at the start. During, in the middle, you can say something like furthermore, also, in fact, in addition, another, secondly, etc. And when you're concluding the sentence, you will write in conclusion, finally, lastly, to sum it all up, or something like that. Evidence. For evidence, you can use words like for example, for instance, such as. And if you're giving an opposite view, then you will say something like however, but, some might say although, neither, etc. Now, sometimes you must use words that are not like these. You may use words like eventually, then, afterwards, soon. So, for example, you can say, I quickly hung up the phone and then I called an emergency plumbing company. So, over here, the reader can understand that first the phone was hanged or kept, and then then another call was made. Sometimes you want to show something which is happening at the same time. So you can use words like at the same time or simultaneously, while, meanwhile. So you can say, while I was on the phone with her, I heard a strange noise in the basement. So where you're trying to show an order of the sequence. Then you must always watch your verb tense. When we are writing a narrative, we normally are talking about something that took place in the past, so your tense should always be past tense as the event has already taken place. So you will not switch between tenses when you're writing a narrative paragraph. You will not say, I woke up surrounded by an oppressive fog. It obscured my vision and hindered my breathing. I can't remember where I am or how I went there. It's all wrong. You have to maintain the past tense. So you can say, I was 11, so the car ride seemed like an eternity. We lived in Wincoston at the time, and the breeder was in Chicago. Something like that. Next, you will always conclude. Your concluding sentence should be a reflection. So you're going to use your conclusion to give an opinion regarding the story, or you will give an insight about how the event affected you or affected the narrator in the present day, or how it affected the choices that you are making nowadays. So, knowing when and how to help without being asked was one of the most valuable things I learned about being a true and thoughtful friend. So, this is a good concluding sentence because it is a reflection. Tip number 5 is you have to pick one moment. You're not supposed to write about too many things. You're going to pick one moment and then you're going to expand on that moment. So let's see a few examples of the narrative paragraph. A special place. I went to the Tiki Tiki restaurant for my mom's birthday. That is the title sentence. And over here, the Tiki Tiki restaurant sounds so cute. And, she's used this as a hookup to cause curiosity amongst her readers. It was a special place because it was decorated like Hawaii. First, look the order. First, I got fruit juice in a real pineapple cup. Real pineapple cup over here is trying to create sensation, is using sensory language. It was delicious. Next, I tried a lot of Hawaiian food from the huge buffet. I liked the pulled pork and the purple potatoes and the rice. Finally, there was a show with hula and fire dancers. It was so exciting. I was a little afraid of the fire dancers. I had a great look at this last line. I had a great time at the Tiki Tiki restaurant. I hope I can go there again. So this is a reflection that you liked the choice you made and you are ready to go there again. Another example, over here the transitionary words are in red color. This past weekend, I had the time of my life. First, Friday night, I had my best friend over and we made a delicious mouth-watering pizza. After we ate, we had a friendly video game competition. On Saturday, my dad took us out on the boat. The weather was perfect and the water was warm. It was a great day to go for a swim. Later that night, we went to the movies. We saw an action packed thriller and ate a lot of popcorn. Finally, on Sunday, we rode our bikes all over the town. By the end of the day, my legs were very tired. I only hope that next weekend can be as fun as this one. Like you can see the concluding sentence, I only hope the next weekend can be as fun as this one is a reflection that this weekend was fun. And also, mouth-watering pizza, water was warm. These are all different ways. My legs were very tired of using sensory language so that the reader can feel the experience. Next one, over here, I have highlighted the three parts of the paragraph in different colors. My most embarrassing moment happened when I was working in a Mexican restaurant. So she's hooked the narrator has hooked the reader by saying using the words embarrassing moment. So we know we are going to get to know something inside story like an embarrassing incident. Okay, and she said that, or he or she has said that it's in the Mexican restaurant. So that is the place where this takes place. I was a hostess working on a busy Friday night. As usual, I was wearing a blouse and a long Mexican skirt. While I was taking some menus to a table, one of the waiters accidentally stepped on the hem of my skirt. I didn't even feel anything until I was hurtling towards the floor with food flying away from me. Almost every customer in the restaurant saw me fall, but absolutely every customer saw my red face when I was able to get to my feet again. So this is very good narration of the embarrassing moment in someone's life. Now, it's our chance. It's our time to practice. I'm going to give you a paragraph that is written, almost written, and you're going to fill in the details. So, this is a narrative writing guided practice. And in this, we are going to write about, you can write about your experience of riding your cycle or a bike for the first time, or taking a boat ride for the first time, or something like that, or the first time you cooked, or you made a cake, or anything that you did for the first time. So, the first time I ever rode a cycle or rode a bike or tried learning to drive a car, whatever you want to write, the first time I ever baked a cake was a total disaster. First, and then why was it a disaster? You have to write that. So, first, what happened? Okay, and please include sensory language. Write how it made you feel in the same sentence. Next, what happened? Then what happened? And finally is a concluding sentence. So, finally, what is the final verdict? What is your final conclusion, your reflection on that experience? So, this is your guided writing, your narrative paragraph. With this, children, we have come to the end of our class. Stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Thank you.